Okay, so now I deleted the other two and I want to focus more on this one. Let me kind of show you stuff that's located in your graph, or not graph editor, but hypergraph that you might find useful, especially when doing constraints. Okay, first off, if I key something, let's say I have this box and I hit S on the keyboard. Notice how it has a slant in it now. A slant in your hypergraph means it's keyed at one point. Okay? So I'm going to undo that. Keys can kind of play havoc on things. Another thing is, let's say I just take these two cubes and just parent them together. Voila, parent appears. Okay? Also, you'll see that what is driving it compared to what it's driven. In other words, if I highlight this box and move it, it's the one actually driving this one. So you'll see it's all the constraint's always on the driven object, the one that it pushes. To get rid of a constraint, let's say I highlight this one in hypergraph and hit delete. Okay. So what I want you to do is just clean out your scene. So there's two boxes here and three, no other. Alright, so let's get started. Again, I'm going to start with the same principles as this is the driving force that goes behind this one. So I'm going to constraint it, and then I'm going to make it a parent constraint. Okay. Also, to better get you any other understanding of what's going on, I'm going to say this is my driver, and this is my driven. Driver, driven. Okay, now I'm going to make another constraint, but first I got to show you something. Display, transform display, selection handles. This allows me to see the center pivot on things. I'm going to make another locator. Hit 4 on the keyboard, bring it up close to this handle, and hit V on the keyboard. V is in Victor, and point snap it to that item. Okay, now let's look at what we can do here. First off, kind of look at this one. You can see that because it's a parent constraint, it's taking up my translate and rotates. Therefore, if I did actually animate this, it would look kind of funny as it's moving forward because it's been keyed already by a constraint. So what I want to do is use a constraint that doesn't take, since this is rotating, I want to use a constraint that doesn't take up the rotate channel. And that one is called a point constraint. Again, this is going to be my driver, and it's going to be driving this. So I go constraint and go to point. Okay, and you can see now that I highlight the box, it's only being taken up in the translate channel. This will move just like it did before. Now, what I want to do is assign this so when it moves forward, it takes this with it. So that is a parent constraint. I'm not worried about rotating it anywhere later on down the road. Okay, so let's kind of look at this whole setup first before so I can move it around, right? Can I rotate it? Okay, as you can see, if I start rotating it based on some axes, this is what's going to happen. So be mindful of what kind of object you're building. If it's going to be an object that rotates, yes, you're going to have to worry about that. Since I'm only having an object that goes forward, I'm not worried about that. Okay, now let's do this one thing here. Let's start rotating this around. Okay, So what I'm going to do is go over here to the rotate channel, highlight these three, well, just the Z-axis. Highlight that one, right click on it, and key select it. Notice it's orange, and I'm only keying Z because it's the only thing I'm actually worried about keying right now. So don't key a whole bunch of channels just for the entertainment sake of it. Only key the ones that you're actually going to be using. I'm going to type in 360, move it down to 12, and hit S on the keyboard. Now that should rotate. Okay, so what happens when I now move it? Okay, nothing, right? Because actually this is driven by a key. This is driven by real life me moving it. So nothing's going to happen. Now later on we're going to look up an expression that might do that for us. So when I move this forward, it rotates and it's not even driven by a key. Alright, so now I can have separate keys on separate things. So now I'm going to key this forward on the locator. S. S. Okay, and there we go. It moves, and it's driven by two separate constraints. That is a very, very good method of thinking when it comes down to constraints. Okay, now let's get into different things where we might want to rotate it or some other stuff.